In this tutorial, you will learn how to set up Angular and build your first application from scratch. We'll start by installing the necessary tools and configuring the development environment. This includes installing Node.js, the Angular command line interface, and creating a new Angular project. Finally, we'll run the application in the browser to see how Angular updates the view in real time. Step 1. Install Node.js. Before setting up Angular, you need to install Node.js on your system. Node.js is required to run Angular tools and manage project dependencies. Open your terminal, macOS Linux X, or Command Prompt Windows and verify that Node.js is properly installed on your operating system by running the following command. To download and install Node.js on macOS, the recommended approach is to use NVM, Node Version Manager. NVM allows you to manage multiple versions of Node.js easily without conflicting with system installations. First, install NVM by following the instructions from the official repository. Once NVM is set up, you can use it to install the latest version of Node.js with a simple command. During the installation, npm Node Package Manager is automatically included, allowing you to manage dependencies and packages for your projects. After the installation, you can verify that Node.js and npm are working correctly by checking their versions in the terminal. This method ensures a flexible and reliable Node.js setup on macOS. On Windows, one of the easiest ways to install Node.js is by using Chocolatey, a package manager for Windows. First, ensure that Chocolatey is installed on your system. Once installed, you can open Command Prompt or PowerShell and use Chocolatey to download and install the latest version of Node.js. This installation will automatically include npm Node Package Manager, which allows you to manage project dependencies and run Node.js applications. After the installation is complete, you can verify that both Node.js and npm are properly installed by checking their versions in the terminal. Using Chocolatey makes it simple to manage Node.js updates and ensures a smooth setup on Windows systems. On Linux, you can install Node.js efficiently using NVM, Node Version Manager, which is well suited for managing multiple Node.js versions on a single system. Unlike macOS, Linux often requires installing build tools and updating your shell configuration after NVM installation. After downloading and installing NVM using the official script, you can install the desired Node.js version and automatically get npm alongside it. You can also set a default Node.js version for your user account and switch between versions easily. Finally, verify the installation by checking the versions of Node.js and npm in your terminal. This approach ensures a robust and flexible Node.js environment tailored to Linux systems. On IBM X systems, Node.js can be installed and managed using NVM, Node Version Manager, which simplifies handling multiple versions without affecting system-level packages. First, download and set up NVM following the official instructions for X-compatible shells. Once NVM is configured, you can fetch and install the Node.js version you need, which will automatically include npm for package management. After installation, confirm that Node.js and npm are working correctly by checking their versions in the terminal. This setup provides a controlled and flexible Node.js environment on X, making it easier to maintain and update different Node.js versions over time. Let's try an example. Open your terminal and enter the first command to download and install NVM, Node Version Manager. This command will fetch the installation script and set up NVM on your system, allowing you to manage multiple versions of Node.js easily. After installing NVM, you need to set up Node.js. First, ensure that NVM is loaded in your current terminal session by running $home nvm sh. This makes the NVM command available without restarting your terminal. Then, use NVM to download and install the version of Node.js you want. Once the installation is complete, verify that Node.js is installed correctly by checking its version with NodeV. Similarly, confirm that npm is installed and working properly by running npm-v. Completing these steps ensures that both Node.js and npm are ready to use, allowing you to create and manage your projects smoothly. You have successfully installed and downloaded Node.js. Step 2. Install the Angular command line interface. The command line interface is a powerful tool that helps you create, develop, test, and manage Angular applications directly from the terminal or command prompt. It simplifies many development tasks and automates project setup and configuration. To install the Angular command line interface, open a terminal, for example, in Visual Studio Code or your system's command prompt, and run the following npm command. This command installs the Angular command line interface globally on your system, allowing you to use the n command to create and manage Angular projects. In the command line, type the following command to install the Angular CLI globally: npm install Angular CLI. When you run the command, it may display a message such as 288 packages were installed. This means that the Angular command line interface and all of its required dependencies have been successfully downloaded and installed on your system. This confirms that the installation was successful. Step 3. Create an Angular application. After installing the Angular command line interface, you can create a new Angular application using the command line. Create a new Angular project. Run the following command in your terminal: ng-new my first Angular app. nf-new tells the Angular command line interface to create a new project. My first Angular app is the name of your project. You can choose any name you like. When you run ng-new my first Angular project, Angular asks, which style sheet format would you like to use? If you choose CSS, Angular will configure your project to use standard cascading style sheets, CSS files, for styling. This means each component will have its own separate CSS file, for example, app component CSS, where you write regular CSS rules to style that component. Choosing CSS is ideal for beginners or for projects that do not require advanced styling features. Angular may also ask, do you want to enable server-side rendering, SSR, and static site generation, SSG pre-rendering? If you choose yes, Angular will set up your project to support rendering your application on the server instead of only in the browser. This means the HTML content is generated on the server and sent to the user already rendered, which improves performance and makes your app load faster. Once you answer all the setup questions, Angular will begin creating your project. It will generate the project folder, install all required dependencies, and set up the necessary configuration files. During this process, you will see files being created and packages being installed in the terminal. When the installation is complete, Angular will display a success message. Step 4. Run the Angular application. After creating your Angular project, you can run it locally to see it in action. In your terminal, you can switch to your new Angular project by running cd my first Angular project. Once inside the project folder, start the application using npm start. This command launches the Angular development server, and your app will be accessible in a web browser at http://localhost:4200. The development server also automatically reloads the application whenever you make changes to the code, allowing you to see updates in real time. When you run cd my first Angular project, you enter the projects folder and are now inside the directory containing all your Angular application files. When you run npm start, it launches the Angular development server and starts your application. The Angular development server begins building your application. It compiles all the project files, processes, dependencies, and prepares everything needed to run the app in the browser. Once the build is complete, the server starts and your application becomes accessible at http://localhost:4200. Any changes you make to your code while the server is running will trigger an automatic rebuild and reload in the browser. You have now successfully installed and set up the Angular command line interface CLI. With it, you can create new Angular projects, generate components, and run your applications locally. Your development environment is ready, and you can start building and exploring Angular applications.